I'm Christina Aguayo in Dallas, and here are your top stories. The Somali migrant community in Minnesota is costing taxpayers more than $1.5 billion a year, as 58% receive welfare benefits. A recent report bragging about the economic impact of the Minnesota Somali community has instead highlighted that the financial strain is more than just the estimated $8 billion in fraud. In fact, the migrant drain is also impacting tax revenue and welfare benefits. The report claims Somali migrants generate $500 million in annual income and pay about $67 million in state and local taxes. However, with an estimated Somali population of about 100,000 per the U.S. Census Bureau's 2024 American Community Survey, that equals $626 per person in taxes each year, which is a fraction of the state average. The average American citizen in Minnesota pays about $8,000 to $10,000 a year in state and local taxes, according to the Tax Foundation's 2025 data. Somali's $626 contribution is more than 12 times below what American citizens pay. Somali migrants cost about $450 million a year in SNAP, $350 million in health care, Medicaid, $600 million in education, other services, $100 million. Total cost, $1.5 billion. You can go ahead and subtract those taxes of $67 million. They still have a net annual cost to Minnesota taxpayers of about $1.4 billion a year. President Donald Trump says these numbers expose a community that needs to be subsidized rather than one that contributes to society. The president has vowed to end temporary protected status for Somalis and has already deployed ICE strike teams to the Twin Cities targeting illegal migrants. Recently, an investigation revealed that 50% of the migrants in Minnesota committed immigration fraud. Then you add that to the recently uncovered Medicaid fraud. Federal prosecutors have charged over 75 migrants in the Feeding Our Future scandal, where Somali migrants, some close friends with Ilhan Omar, stole at least $300 million from child nutrition funds during COVID-19, the largest pandemic relief fraud in U.S. history. There was also massive fraud happening in housing, autism, and other welfare programs, with authorities predicting $8 billion in losses. Governor Tim Walz is also under investigation after allegations that he covered up the fraud, then retaliated against the people that reported it. In response, Ilhan Omar, a Somali migrant, is calling Trump creepy and vile. She portrayed her community as America's backbone, claiming they are all doctors, teachers, entrepreneurs, adding that they will stay in America even though it's filled with racism, xenophobia, and Islamophobia. However, numbers don't lie, and it appears as though the numbers are in opposition to Omar's claim. Representative Ilhan Omar has close relationships to the Somalis convicted of fraud, sparking the attention of the DOJ. Whistleblower Bill Glan claims that Omar, quote unquote, knew who these people were, who committed the fraud, and she was a part of it. Members of Omar's inner circle are some of the migrants convicted in the billion-dollar fraud scandals. We now know that Minneapolis, Somali migrant community, has stolen as much as $8 billion in tax dollars, and not the $1 billion originally estimated. Omar, a Somali migrant herself, representing Minnesota's 5th district, where all the fraud is taking place, is in the spotlight for her relationship with the Fraudsters. Omar's 2018 Victory Bash was at a Somali spot co-owned by convicted fraudster Salem Ahmad Saeed, who stole $5 million via fake meals. She visited often and got donations from owners like Amy Bach, convicted for the $250 million core scheme. Guhad Hashi Saeed, Omar's ex-staffer and Somali outreach ace, pled guilty in August to stealing $3.2 million through his sham nonprofit, billing for $5,000 each day for fake meals. He was a fixture at her events and considered a close friend. A key organizer in Omar's 2018 and 2020 campaigns, who mobilized Somali voters as an enforcer, pleaded guilty in August to defrauding the program of $12 million. Omar's 2018 election night celebration was held at Safari Restaurant in Minneapolis, co-owned by Salim Ahmad Saeed, another convicted fraudster. Saeed was found guilty in March of stealing over $12 million by inflating meal claims to 3.9 million fake servings. Prosecutors detailed how he splurged on a $2 million mansion and $9,000 a month at Nordstrom, all while the restaurant raked in $16 million in federal funds. Over $53,000 in fraud money was given to Minnesota Democrats, including to Omar, from people who were convicted. Real quick, I want to remind you that Medicare costs are set to go up next year. So if you want to save more than $1,000 a year, listen up. Because not only will you be paying more for your deductible and premiums, but some Medicare Advantage plans are disappearing altogether. It can be confusing with so many different plans and options, but I got a quick and easy solution for you. Chapter. I've partnered with Chapter because I believe in what they're doing. They want to help and they'll do it for free. Just call the number on your screen or go to askchapter.org/Christina. It'll take 20 minutes and they'll do all the work. Give them a call. It'll be well worth your time. Tiny chunks of DNA found in COVID-19 matches a sequence that was patented by Moderna 3 years before the pandemic started. A study has uncovered a precise genetic sequence in the SARS-CoV-2 virus, which is COVID-19, that matches a snippet of code patented by biotech giant Moderna more than 3 years before the outbreak. Published in the peer-reviewed journal Frontiers in Virology, the findings by an international team of researchers say the virus may have picked up this human-engineered DNA marker during lab-based experiments, fueling suspicions that COVID was engineered in a lab. The discovery centers on fundamental building blocks of genetic code embedded in the virus, a unique feature on its spike protein that supercharges its ability to invade human cells. This exact sequence is a perfect match to part of a modified human gene that Moderna patented in February of 2016 under U.S. patent number 9587003. Researchers calculated the odds of this match happening naturally at 1 in 3 trillion. The study authors pointing to potential lab contamination. They propose that the virus could have acquired the code during gain-of-function research. That's what you need to know. In Dallas, Christina Aguayo.